Hi, I'm Andrew, an entrepreneur and a computer science student,
Hi, I'm Verene, a psychology major student.
and you're now listening to the Thoughts podcast, where we ponder and talk about incongruous thoughts ranging from our daily life to the human mind. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Thoughts podcast. So today is a special episode. So today we won't go deep into our life update because not only Verene is here, but also we have a guest on our podcast. So today we have Wei Han over here. So Wei Han, can you give us a short introduction of yourself?
Hey, Andrew. Nice to be on your podcast today. I'm Wei Han, and I run my own blog called Racuned. Yeah, and that's pretty much what I do. Yeah,
Okay,
back to
that's
you,
cool. Can
Andrew.
can can you give us like, because Racun is more it's I guess it's derived from Malay. So can you give the audience like kind of introduction to the name, like why you chose the name, like the reason behind it, or is there like just no particular reason, which
Okay.
is fine as well?
This is a very interesting thing. So, okay, we back then we started Racun because me and my best friend, Kwan lah, we just call him Kwan. So we have some very edgy ideas or some very unorthodox kind of like ideas, and both of us shares the same personality that we hate things that are like mainstream.
Okay,
so
okay, I like that. I
so
like that.
basically we wanted to our blog to spread some very unorthodox ideas, and then we think about it and we started wondering, is our content a little bit too toxic? And then one of us, I forgot who, we just go along, and then like, if our content is toxic, why not we just call it Racun?
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
so
okay.
that's how Racun came about.
Okay, okay, that's cool. That's cool. I
Yeah,
like that. I like that. Yeah. I know. I
thanks.
guess. I guess me and Vereen, we kind of have a bit of a similar idea when we started the podcast. That's why I call it like incongruous thoughts. Incongruous is something
Yeah.
that's unusual, but not as extreme as yours. When we go into like talk about poison, but that's still
Yeah, poison.
quite a similar idea. Quite a similar idea. But yeah, Russian is a cool thing. I went through it. I read about it, and I am really impressed. By
Thanks.
the how do I say it? So basically each block, the depth you go into it, you actually did research, like especially the latest one that which I read, about online dating and all that. You go in depth, you pull in some data and all that, and then
Uh,
yeah, you gave some metaphor on how you compare online dating to like the many choices on menu or something like that. So yeah, like how what inspired you to do so, and then like how where did you find the passion into like putting like so much effort into it, like
okay, so
it's of course it's not
yeah,
like a research paper where you have everything how do I say, referenced, but then still it's cool that
right.
you linked in all the stuff as compared
Yeah.
to my blog, which is actually, I would say, like usually no difference to my podcast, which I just say whatever I have in my head, not that there's no facts or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, but yours, like there is some facts, like some evidence base. So yes.
Okay. Uh, I think you're just I think you're highlighting the online dating. That article is just like the one that I spent the most of my time there. But most of the other articles, I can say, is somewhat similar to your blog. It's just like what I thought about, and I just write it down. I don't think about the fact, but to link, like to prove my point or something. But just that particular article, online dating. So if you want to talk about how do I find the passion to write such a long article out of nowhere, because I had a breakup. Okay, so
Okay.
so
Okay.
so like when you had a breakup, you have so many emotions there. You just have to have a channel to sort of like channel it out. So
Mm-mm.
and then it happens to be I watched a movie called Chungking Express.
Oh
So
no.
Chungking Express is a movie by Wong Kar-wai. It's an interesting movie. You should give it a watch. So one of the plot points is involving this policeman, okay, played by Tony Leung. So his girlfriend just no, he was buying dinner or supper for his girlfriend. So he went to this store. This store is called Chongqing Express, which is actually a deli. So he asked the boss like, what other choices do you have? Because he buys chef salad every day for his girlfriend, and then yeah, and then the boss gives him a few other options, and then he's like, you have never tried it. You have never tried other options. How do you know that she doesn't like it? And then it's kind of a metaphor for later, a foreshadowing because his girlfriend eventually left him, which is why the boss say like she haven't tried other choices. How do you know that she doesn't like other choices? So I kind of relate it back to dating apps and modern dating as a whole, because when we're on dating apps, you have an abundance of choices. You have so many choices. It's like a menu. You can filter it out based on religion, race, height, how do they smoke, do they not smoke. So it's like a menu, and then you can choose who you want, and then so if there's an abundance of choices, like you have so many choices, I found out that you will actually get like you can't make better choices. You don't know who to choose, who to pick, what's best for you,
Oh,
because yeah, because this is based on a paradox of choices. I forgot the author. I think it was in my article. So this guy he was like saying about when there's too many choices, we can't make the best choice for ourselves because we're so flooded with yeah. So partly because on dating app, actually I tried different dating apps, and then I realized that there's so many choices on there, and then you can match with so many people, so many choices. Who would you actually end up with? And it's so different from real life, you know. Yeah, so that's basically the entire inspiration for the article.
Okay, okay, okay. That is cool. I mean, that actually kind of it kind of relates back because I recently, I've been on a job search and everything. Like now on LinkedIn, it's making it so easy. They have all this thing called,
Right,
I think,
right,
like just a
right.
one click apply, and then even though one click apply works, it's easy for us. It's easy for the like I mean, when it's easy for us, it's actually very easy for the employer to actually filter out as well because like all
Right.
like there's just like it can be just hundreds of application in a day, and then obviously they wouldn't want this much. They want to filter it down to the best of the best, something like that. So I guess it's the same thing that I realized that even though using LinkedIn is cool, it's fast. It feels like for us we are doing a lot. We like it gives us the feeling that we're getting a lot of chances. But the fact is
Right.
that the employer at the same time has a lot of choices as well, and it's like they need to choose from all this as well. So in the end, I realized that sometimes it's still quality over quantity. Like for you, like just like from your article, maybe online dating definitely helps, but then still it goes down to we need to give chances on give more put more effort into like meeting someone and then like
Right.
getting
Right.
to know them, and that actually give a lot greater chances into doing things. Yeah.
yeah, and I think for online dating, sometimes maybe we are so used to like chatting with someone online, and we eventually forget how to interact with people in person after a very long time, spending all the
Right.
time.
And about dating apps is the primary means of communication is through texting, and when we text, there's so much of emotions, feelings, or facial expressions that are hidden behind the text, so you can't really tell what the other person is thinking, or like how's their personality. Everything is through text. Maybe if you meet them online, and you don't really like understand them. Yeah.
I totally agree. I mean, like, uh, but I don't know, man. Like being I know that texting is not the best way. Even like my dad, because he runs a accounting firm, so definitely he needs to make calls with clients and everything, and he says that always making calls is the best thing, because
Yeah.
it just solves everything easier. Like nowadays people just like to use WhatsApp, even sending files and all that. But being an introvert, I'm still trying to fight this thing whereby sometimes things that can just be done by a call, like and currently I'm still tilting towards the way like, can we just do text? But still, I totally understand this part whereby at least through call you can hear some of the emotions. There's more emotions that
Right.
are expressed, and then it's easier to get things done, like easier to understand people and
That's
easier to get things done. I totally agree
I
with this
do
part.
I do agree with making calls because okay, I'm working in a sales job. Just for your information, I have to constantly seal deals, and most of my leads, they come from WhatsApp. So people will just actually send you a text, like they send you a picture of something, and then like, can you quote this? And at first
Oh.
I mainly use text because I'm not really used to calling. And so I'll just reply text, and I just realized that most of the time people just don't read your text. So I changed my tactic. I go into call. People text me on WhatsApp. I'll just call them straight away. Like, hey, what's the thing that you want to do? And then I can just straight up introduce everything, and then I can like solve. I can know what he's doing. So he made a connection with you through the call. You had a connection, although not in person, but you made a connection. So I found out that the leads are better through that. I actually got more response and more. I seal more deals from calls. Also, like when you're troubleshooting something, you can just like call them. You know, it's so much superior than texting in a way.
Yeah,
I
for
Yeah.
me,
totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. I mean, yep, Vereen, you go first.
okay, okay. For me, I also get the same experience from my last job. Yeah, I'm unemployed now. Yeah, so so previously, when I was working, even if it's like something very small, but when it comes to like discussion, I still prefer calling with my colleague instead of just texting. I feel like there is something missing sometimes. You won't see it until you really go to that point. So when we are speaking,
Right.
it's a lot easier to figure it out and all. And even for my patient, if they text me, I feel like there is something missing as well. They won't tell you everything that you want also. But if you are in a conversation, they will just say whatever they want, and you get everything at once instead of keep
Right.
going back
Right.
to and back. Yeah.
Yes, I
Okay.
totally agree with that. Yeah, something that I definitely need to do. There's actually quite a funny period of time because I think it was like, I think 2 months ago, because like, yeah, in today's society, we rarely get calls. And when we get calls, it's more likely that it will be a scam call. It's more likely for it to be scam
Right.
calls. So it will be like, you'll be a lot more cautious and all that, like, who, or like what are you trying to ask? Like, are you trying to ask my OTP? Or are you trying to ask me like saying that I got caught in a bank fraud or something? Need to
Yeah.
give some details to you. Yeah, so because especially in the UK, yeah, I rarely get calls. I rarely get calls. Even with when I call my friends, it's like usually through WhatsApp calls. Just through WhatsApp call, we just text or something like that. So we rarely call. And the funny thing about WhatsApp is that because it's bind to your phone number, so even though your Malaysian friends contact might be on your WhatsApp, it might be connected to a Malaysian contact number. So when they call you through landline,
Ah.
like through a UK number, you don't know you don't know who are they. So like sometimes my friend is actually calling me, but I just pick up the phone like, hello, and then it's only his when his voice comes in. I was like, oh, it's you. Okay, okay, you're here. Okay, and then now I'm going down. But yeah, mainly the thing is like 2 months ago, yeah, around 2 months ago when I started applying for jobs, and then like the interviewer calls in, to do the call screening, and then sometimes just asking if I'm available for a interview, something like that. I didn't know how to answer a call anymore. I was like, yeah, hello, because like definitely sometimes it's more important to like just introduce someone so like people
Right.
that know that it's actually you. Like I didn't
Yeah.
know how to answer it. I was like mumbling on the phone. I was like, oh my god, I haven't been speaking for so long that I really should spend more time on call, something like that.
Uh,
Yeah. But yeah, like going back to Racun, like Because one of
Okay.
the, of course, definitely there's a few interesting thing. Like definitely main one main topic which caught my eyes, like because you write quite a lot about philosophy stuff. But before we
Okay.
dived into philosophy topics, there's one which I find most interesting is the one that where you translate the theme song. Yeah, the one you translated the theme song. Yeah, yeah, like
Oh,
quite a
there's
recent
this.
one. I was like, even though like it's like early this year, but you know you translated a theme song from a film. Yeah, so like would you like to share more about that? Something.
Oh, go. Okay. Talk about the theme song. I should just introduce. The theme song that I translated was from a Hong Kong movie. I believe it's called as Smiling Proud Wanderer or something. Chinese called 笑傲江湖.
Oh,
So
okay.
there's this theme song written by I don't exactly remember their Chinese name. So they wrote the song called Laughter from the Great Ocean. Uh, so the background of the story is about a swordsman. So he was expelled from his school because he was a bit rebellious, but he stood up for the right things. So he was expelled by his teacher, which seemingly was a very righteous person. He's so righteous that he appears to be a little bit like fake, like he's
Oh.
actually manipulative, but he's so righteous. So he kicked him out. So when he was wandering around the land, okay, so he stumbled upon a guy, and so the guy was from a sect or like a cult, something like evil in their universe. So he's an evil guy, but he was a best friend with another guy from the, we will say, the light side, okay, like Jedi, light side
Oh
and
yeah,
dark
yeah,
side.
yeah. I was gonna
Yeah,
take
yeah,
reference
yeah.
from Star Wars. It kind of just sounds like that.
Right. So you can imagine it's like maybe you can say who maybe like Count Dooku being good friends with like a random Jedi that you don't know who he is, but he is a master Jedi. So that guy, the other guy from the light side, he was a master as well. So master and a dark side. So both of them made friends, but in secret. People don't actually know about their friendship. And then when people found out that both of them are like making friends, and then the protagonist from there, he realized that there's no like good side or bad side. There's always a human side to both side of a conflict. So this song was played when both of them were found out, and people were like
Mhm.
chasing after them, like they're trying to kill them. So both of them just sat on a boat, and then they played this song. Okay, I forgot to mention they were connected through the love of music. Apparently, both of them
Oh.
love music so much. They wrote a song together. So as they were on the boat, they played this final song that they wrote together. They burned the boat. So they were dying together with the boat
Mhm.
that goes across the stream. So I like this song because it was about how our, so there's this line that goes uh new waves crashing on the old, just like worldly affairs. It's just like good and bad. People are fighting over the things, worldly things. But after an eternity, the nature, the river, the mountain, and the sea, they look at us. It's just a passing cloud. Yeah. That's why I find it very interesting. The theme about being uncaring about worldly affairs and focus on
Mhm.
friendships, on things that
Oh.
matters the most. So I wanted to translate it because I couldn't find a very good English translation.
Mhm.
And it's
So
so
you just
hard.
made your own for the whole theme song, is it?
Yeah, it's my own
Nice.
interpretation. It's so hard to translate Chinese, especially ancient. I kind of like to say like old Chinese. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, okay, I get it, I get it. But I totally agree with you on that. Like even I don't know, like right now, cause I'm in the UK, which is just for a year. It's a quite a new place for me. even though like people, when you go to like you study in a foreign country, something like that, people would just ask you like, did you travel around and all that, places you've been to, all that. But for me, even though it's cool. It's cool to walk to travel around, check out new stuff, explore new things. But sometimes, especially now, 1 year in, after, because like once you're in a foreign territory, not like a foreign territory as in like war or something, but then like yeah, overseas, something like that. Your few friends from your home country becomes like kind of like your family. So even though going out traveling with them is fun, but sometimes like especially right now where people started working, people started go to different parts of the UK for their own job and something. When we meet together, I find that it's no longer about like traveling, going to like tourist spot together, taking pictures and all that. And so sometimes just a casual session in a bar, at a cafe, drinking stuff, tasting a few some pastries, and then just chatting about life is sometimes the most important thing in this whole trip. It's no longer about the place, about posting on Instagram. It's no longer about sharing that we are together, but literally the most important thing is just sitting down, just chatting. You can chat the whole day, and then without letting the world know. I find that sometimes if we actually, because personally for me, when I get too immersed into something, of course I like how to say, you just forget about the worldly affairs. You forget about everything else. I forget about like posting on Instagram, something like that. Even though like I guess one of the social indicator of being a friend, like you're close enough and you've done something, is to post on Instagram. And I especially I love this quote, like from, I went to Stonehenge. I believe you guys know Stonehenge, right? The few rocks thing in UK, quite popular apparently from 1,000 years ago. So over there's this quote. So I think at one point, I think 2010, with the invention of with the popularization of smartphones and Instagram, like the statement of photography changed from "I was here" to "I am here." Yeah, like it's kind of just like, it used to be like a memory, like you show people that I was here, but now you take a picture and then you post it immediately, telling that I'm right here right now, I'm visiting this place right now. But still, I think when we actually we are having a great time with someone else, or have like actually how do I say it? Fully spending our friendship properly, it's more likely that we wouldn't just post it, because we would immerse in that experience so well that we forget about all this other stuff, all this other, I would say, social expectations and all that, where you have to post and all that.
I can relate to that, because I don't really post pictures. Like, even if I've been to very pretty places, or like some tourist spots, I never post any pictures, and never take any pictures of myself, because for me, if you go to that place, what you're going to do is look at the place, remember that feeling when you're at that place, and it's a memory for you. It's in your head. You have that image in your head. So once you are taking pictures, you forgot about the most important things, which is to indulge in that moment, that particular feeling the place gave you. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yes.
I think that's true. Like, okay, like girls usually we like to take a lot of photos, and then we
Oh,
have to take
definitely.
hundreds. We have to take 100 photos in order to just pick, like choose one that can be posted or something. Yeah. So like nowadays, I really feel like if I go to somewhere and it's more about like taking photos. After that, I really cannot remember much about that single place or memories that I have with someone that went together with me, and yeah.
Yes. And like the part where Wei Han talked about like indulge in that experience, I can totally relate with that. And there's this movie called Secret Life of Walter Mitty. I'm not sure if you guys have watched it before. It's quite an interesting
heard it.
movie. It's you watch it?
I heard it.
Oh, you heard of it?
But
Okay,
I
you heard
haven't
of
watched
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's of course it's not very philosophical and all that, but it's just a cool video, trying to it kind of goes deep into someone's deep desire when they're having a midlife crisis. So it's just going. Yeah, it's just basically trying to explore someone which is having a midlife crisis, and then he's like trying to do things which he actually wanted to do. And then one of the because like what he does is, what the protagonist's job is, that he kind of, how do I say it, he organizes film in a magazine, in a huge magazine firm. So they organize all this film from quite a famous photographer. And sometimes they'll use their films to put to use it as a cover image for the magazine. So he's really close with this popular photographer, and then he lost one of the key film. Yeah, he lost one of the key films, and so he's going around the world, like doing things that he wanted to do and never get to do before, just to find this guy. And then when he actually found that guy was trying to take a picture of a snow leopard. It's not easy to take it. He's been hiding in the snow mountains for quite a few days, just trying to take a shot. But at the point where, because he was there when the Walter Mitty and the protagonist, which is Walter Mitty, and then the photographer are there together when the snow leopard came out. So they're just staring at the snow leopard together, and then so he was asking like, wait, why aren't you taking the picture? And then the photographer was saying something like, sometimes at moments like this where it's so magnificent, I just don't take a picture, and then I just indulge in this experience with my own eyes. Yeah, something like that, which is like exactly whatever you said, but then just through a movie is like totally can relate with that. Yeah. But yes, so yeah, we went through the interesting personal translation of the theme song.
Thank you.
Now we would like to go more deeper into your philosophical thoughts and all that.
Okay. So
is it convenient for you to share that right now? No. Take your time. I understand that this is a process of adulting. So for the audience context, it's quite funny what we're seeing right now, because I think it's raining right now. So Wei Han is like he's carrying his laptop out and then just trying to get the clothes indoors so that they won't get drenched in the rain. This is quite a Malaysian problem. I mean, I guess
apologize. I'm back.
No worries. We were just explaining about how what you're doing. I don't know. I mean maybe. I guess in the UK it rains a lot as well, but I guess because it rains a lot, so it makes it normal for us to get a dryer. Yeah, but I think Malaysia should get to this someday.
Dryer.
Yeah. So like my shirt is actually drying right now. I think it's like around, I think in an hour it will be done, something like that. Yeah.
But my mom would still prefer, hanging the clothes out there, because the sun, after putting it down, the sun, it gives you a different smell, like nicer or something.
Oh, the scent is actually
yeah.
the scent of dead mites.
Being
roasted under the sun.
I like that description. I totally agree with that. That is a lot better. But yeah, just because the UK weather, I would say that it's like 40% raining, 40% cloudy, and then only the rest 20% is sunny. So yeah. It's not easy for us to do this, especially in the winter. Even though you can see the sun out, but you wouldn't want your clothes out there. When you collect it in, it's like ice cold, something like that. Yeah, that would be terrible. Yes, but going back to what we were gonna say. So yes, can we dive more deeper into your philosophy ideas? So you talk a lot about this, and like from what we've known about you, you do read a lot, and over our last conversation, you shared many interesting books, which we would love to explore. So, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Talk about philosophy. I would say philosophy is very broad term. It encompasses so many things. Like everyone has a personal philosophy. But Racuned, a lot of my articles we go into existentialism. So existentialism is a branch of philosophy that deals with a person's uh, choice, like how do you deal with your existence? Because when we exist in this world, when we are born, we didn't even have a choice to be born. So we were born in this world without our consent. And then when you're born into this world, there's two issues that you have to concern about. First is how am I supposed to live? And the alternate path to how am I supposed to live is to die. So existentialism usually deals with topics like this, like as a person, how should we deal with the meaning of our existence and what kind of attitude should we deal with it. And so existentialism, I would say, uh, is a very important kind of philosophy. Some people might not consider it as a branch of real philosophy. Okay, philosophy, if I'm not mistaken, they call it continental philosophy and analytical philosophy. So continental philosophy, I think it's more like existentialism. There's not maybe like they don't have grand systems like analytical philosophy does. I'm not really uh, I don't really know that well into that, but if I'm not mistaken, analytical encompasses ethical systems. We have like Immanuel Kant, or like Hegel, the kind of like phenomenology of spirit kind of thing.
Mhm.
So existentialism, I find it quite interesting because it's not something that's for the privilege,
Mm.
because dealing with your existential condition is pretty much everyone's problem. If you're a human, no matter you're a beggar, you're a homeless guy, or like you're the richest guy on earth, even if you're Elon Musk, I'm sure you have to think about why do I exist in this world? So it's not so how do I say elitism. It doesn't have so much of elitism like
Okay, okay.
other
So
branch of
it's like
philosophy.
it doesn't only it's not something that only the rich can think about or like the poor can think about. It's like everyone kind of experience it like in
That
similar ways, something like that, is it?
that and also the ability to having conversation on that. So if you're not really into ethical system, if you're not really well versed on like let's say some philosophical system or Immanuel Kant's ethical system or something, you can't really have a conversation with another person about it, and you can only have conversation with people that knows the same thing. But if it's an existential question, it doesn't matter if you're where you're from, you can always engage in a conversation about it and you can gain an insight from that. And to be honest, I think existential crisis always hits a human, no matter how old you are or how you are doing in life. It always comes at a moment in life when you're the most vulnerable, and then you start to wonder. You start to wonder what am I supposed to do with my life? Uh, why don't I just die? Like, what lies ahead for me, and what's the meaning of everything? So everybody eventually it hits you. So you start to wonder, and I think that's a great starting point for everyone because when you start to when you start, it's not about finding out the meaning of life in the end. It's about the
Mm-hmm.
process of the awakening of something inside you that moves you forward to look for that meaning, to search for your own meaning. Yeah.
Okay, okay. I
Mm-hmm.
like that. I like that.
Then
How do you say that?
what's the reason that you first started, and when is it? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, when is your awakening?
I I I I can say it traces back way long when I was a kid. When I was a kid,
Wow.
maybe people are just like playing, not thinking about my. I remember it was like ever since I had consciousness, I started
Ah,
to
okay.
be self-aware. I was wondering that what if the universe doesn't exist? What if
Holy
this
shit!
whole
Wow.
thing doesn't came to be? Like, where am I supposed to be? And then I think if nothing came to be, there's no concept of me. So that really hits hard on my mind as a kid, you know. I was
Wow.
so afraid of it. When I think of it, I can't sleep at night.
So
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 Oh
so
my
so
god.
like I was saying that like usually when kids are you know, like for kids they're afraid of ghosts, you know, they're afraid of like some kind of monster beneath their bed. But for you the thing that keeps you up awake at night is because you think of like, what if like the universe doesn't exist, something like that,
yes.
is it?
What if
Amazing.
everything
Wow.
doesn't exist and then there's not even a concept of things? Non-existent
Wow.
is not even existing.
Oh my god. Wow. So impressive. You know
That's
what I'm
amazing.
thinking?
That
What I'm
yes.
thinking now? Like we were me and Wei Han were classmates, and so when we
Uh,
were in the class, so this is what Wei Han was thinking about, and what was I doing that time?
yeah, you're probably just trying to solve maths and then trying to get another A, and
Yeah,
where
yeah.
Hans
Oh
like
my
thoughts has
god.
already traveled beyond the class,
Yes.
beyond Earth actually, like beyond Earth, like thinking about all this existential stuff. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So going back to how does this all how do I get into this all of this thing? So it traces back so early to this. So I can remember at one point. Okay, I'll just say how do I discover existentialism? I was watching a lot of movies, a lot of films, and especially films like Fight Club, or like American Psycho, or like basically like Goodfellas, or like, yeah, that's those kind of like movies that actually like a bit existential in nature. It's such as like Fight Club. You know, the protagonist he finds it his daily life so mundane, so boring. It's normal condition. It's such a boring condition, I would say. So, and then I like to Google about movies after I watch them. So I maybe stumbled upon Reddit or something. That's so people were talking about Sisyphus or something, like this Albert Camus guy. So I just sort of Google Albert Camus. What's so special about this guy? I watched a video on YouTube. So he has a very special, interesting concept on his book called The Myth of Sisyphus. He's talking about a guy pushing a boulder up a hill for an eternity. So this Sisyphus was a cunning king, a Greek king who deceived Zeus, and that's his punishment, to roll the boulder again and again and again and again. So this French guy, he's very handsome. He's extremely charming, unlike the other philosophers, which are very bad with women.
Okay.
So,
That's cool.
so Camus wants us to imagine Sisyphus as happy, as quoted. He's like, one must imagine Sisyphus happy. So if you're a guy that does the same thing over and over and over again, and watch it roll back down, and only to repeat it again for an eternity, why should you be happy? You should be angry, you should be pissed off at the gods for doing this at you. Maybe you should just like give up, don't roll the boulder. But why should we be happy? So this is actually, you can say, one of the interpretation is a metaphor for the modern life, where you go to work, you take your trains, you go in there, you do your report, you have your lunch, and then you go back home, and then basically just repeat the same thing over and over and over again. And then when you realize it, your life is over. But then Camus was like, one must imagine Sisyphus happy. So as a modern man living the modern life, living the same loop every day, we should be happy, because in a world devoid of meaning, okay, so he was not an existentialist per se. Some people would say he's an absurdist. So according to Camus, the world is absurd. Any attempt to interpret the meaning of life brings you to an absurdity, the feeling of absurd. So, in an absurd world where you're repeating the same task over and over again, you should be happy, because you have a choice to be pissed off, to be angry, to curse at the world, to curse at your fate, curse at your family. But you also have a choice to be happy about your decisions, to be happy about
Definitely,
what
I agree
happens
with
to
that.
you. Yeah, right. So to give a good example, like say if you're a homeless, if you're a no 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 no, no I have a very good example. There's a fisherman who's fishing every day. He goes okay. There's this fisherman. He goes out of work at 11 a.m. He wakes up late, so he sits on his boat. He goes to the river. He goes to the sea. He got all his fish for the day. He brings onto the boat. So he goes home by 4 with his wife waiting for him, and wife cooks the fish for him, cooks food for him. Then he enjoys with time with his family. So there's this one day a merchant came by. Let's say he's from a rich country. So he's like, "Hey, why don't I give you 100,000 bucks so you can start a business?" Then he say, then what happens after I start the business? Then he say, "You can have a lot of money." Then he's like, "What happens after I have a lot of money?" And then the machine goes like, "So you can wake up late, spend all your time with your family, you can go out to the sea, you can watch the sunset." And then the fisherman just goes, "Isn't that what I'm doing right now?"
Wait,
So,
have you read the 4 hour work week?
oh no,
No,
I haven't
this
read
should
that.
I if I'm not mistaken, this actually came from 4 hour work week. Yeah, which is something with like yeah. Give me a second. Let me just grab the book. Is it here?
I think the book is with me, Andrew.
All right, okay, yeah. The book is still with Verene, but yeah, like exactly like because it kind of says that what is like just like what you said, what's the point of doing all this, and then like in the end, like like when you're already doing it now, why are you achieving so much just to and at where you have started, which is like quite a funny thing.
Yeah, yeah. So if you run a relate back, so if you're a fisherman, okay, let's say there's two kind of fisherman. One of the fisherman is an angry man. He's a dissatisfied fisherman. He's always not happy about going to fish, doing all this kind of tasks that he cursed that his dad is not a rich man with an oil and gas company. And the second type of fisherman would be the guy that we talk about. Enjoys it. So it's all boils down about, if you're Sisyphus, if you always have a choice to be happy, whatever the circumstances that's around you. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I guess when I was a lot younger, I'm definitely more of the angry person. Like even just at restaurants and all that, I would think that like when they don't give good enough service, I would just I would be blaming them. Like why should we come to this restaurant? They're not even doing a good job. It's a terrible restaurant. We're paying them, and then like they're not doing good enough. Like that's absolutely what I'll be doing, and it's only like I guess these few years where I don't know, maybe awakening, awakening something like that, or
Awakening,
maybe
yeah,
because
awakening.
maybe I've been in the society as well, working a bit, knowing that things aren't that easy, and we should have more we should empathize more,
Empathy,
understand more
yeah.
about people, and yeah, I realized that yeah, like sometimes worlds is like sometimes it's more important for us to understand each other. If we like there's no point passing on this anger or this grudge onto the next person, and then it becomes a
Right.
death loop. It
Yeah.
keeps on going. If we can hold it to ourselves, or you can just let it go, it might be able to just make the other person happy or something like that.
This
Yeah,
this
we just
this this
appreciate that or something like that.
this reminds me of the concept of karma in Buddhism. So basically, they talk about if you eat a fish, if you kill a cockroach, and there's a karma when the cockroach reincarnates. There will be a creature. Let's say be reincarnate as a worm because you squash the cockroach, and the cockroach will be reincarnated as a bird, and he will eat you up, and you will die. So, according to Buddhism, the only way to break the karma is to stop doing harm, or like stop the suffering. So once you stop killing cockroaches, so the cockroaches won't be reincarnated as a vengeful bird that eats you up in the next life. So you stop the cycle of suffering. So, yeah. So that reminds me of that little concept.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think still that there's many people like they are like people just can't see how much I'm suffering, and then they keep on complaining and all. Then everything is like a cycle, keeps on going and going, and you won't be happy anyway though, even by complaining. What do you gain after complain?
Yeah,
I
you
agree.
curse.
Like
You
sometimes
curse
with
at
my friend. Oh, sorry, Wei Han, you go first.
Okay, so you curse at the wind, you shout at the sea, and eventually your voice just echoes in the distance, and nothing comes back.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, like sometimes, yeah, I can see that some people they just complain like basically they're doing what I've done previously, which I see them doing. I was like, oh, okay, I've did it before. I've done this before, and yeah, quite embarrassing to see myself doing it right now. So yeah, I'm like just there's actually like what you say, two ways to live. You can even though like sometimes like some restaurants they just have terrible service, but there's two ways. You can keep cursing and then you keep holding on grudge on this and then keep complaining, saying that how terrible that restaurant is, or or you can just it is terrible, okay, so it's terrible, but maybe they're having a hard time or something, or worst case we just don't come here again, because it's our choice ultimately, but but outcome for both is that one, you get mad, you feel like you lost something.
Yeah.
Another one, you just be like, I did lose something, but actually I still gained something. I learned that maybe they are like this, so why not just not go there anymore? It's still our choice. So it depends on how you look at things. So I guess like at one point I just kind of learned that everything is a learning experience. You're not losing everything. Yeah. Especially, I think this one single term, not exactly directly relating to what when we are doing everything, we are learning something. But I have this quote from Twitter I saw from someone, is that the opposite of success is not failure. In fact, it's actually stagnation. Even when you're failing, you're actually on the route to success. But if you're not doing anything at all, it's actually stagnation.
Yeah.
It's not exactly directly related to this, but I somehow just linked it together. Verene, you should probably make one of the posts with this quote. Yeah.
Okay. I'll note this down first.
Yeah, but Wei Han, because from all this philosophical ideas that you've shared, you've talked about, do you have any thoughts on? Because you read a lot, you really from what we know, read a lot. Of course, there's a lot more resources to read, but definitely compared to an average human being, you have learned a lot, quite in depth about philosophy. So have any thoughts, in furthering in this direction, building this into a career or something? Yeah.
Okay. For philosophy, the common stigma would be that you can't earn a living through philosophy. Like it doesn't really contribute.
And that's for the first part of this episode, where we get to know Wei Han and the blog Racuned, created by Wei Han and his friend Kwan. In the next episode, we will look into the future development of Wei Han. So yes, hope to see all of you in the next episode. Goodbye. Thank you for listening to this episode of the podcast. If you enjoyed, do share with your friends and family and leave us a review on the Apple Podcast. If you are not using an Apple device, you can leave a review on the Apple Podcast website with a link in the show notes. If you have any feedback or thoughts which you hope that we'll discuss in the future, feel free to email them to us at hello@incthoughts.com, or alternatively, you can send us a private message on our Facebook, Instagram or Twitter with the username of incthoughtspod. Thanks again, and see you all next week. Bye bye.